Hello, all my ghouls and geisties out there. It's your clinically diagnosed ghost host with the most care with a K. And today, we're doing another zodiac reading, this time for my Leo moons. Yes, I know, you've been patiently waiting, as Leos are known for. And this is just a moon reading. This isn't a sun, moon, rising, Venus, etc., etc. I just like to narrow down the audience so that the messages can be more precise and really focus on your situation so you get the most out of it. Right, we'll be doing 3 sections, if you will, today. We'll be doing the general reading, just what you need to focus on right now, what you got going on, what's coming up soon in the future, that sort of thing. We'll go into the finances, like your job, what's happening there. And then finally, we'll do the love reading. Yeah, that's what everyone's here for. But we're just doing basically a checkup. Alrighty. These are all timeless, of course. Just whenever you find it. And now that we are all Leo moons, or Leo moon simps, we can get right into the reading. Sun came out. That is your vibe, Leos. Alrighty. Please, Spirit. For the Leo moon. What do they got going on? What do they need to focus on? What in their life are they dealing with right now? What do they need to pay close attention to? Bips and bop. Beep boop boop bop. Beep boop 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 bop. Beep bop boop beep bop beep bop. Don't know if you guys have heard that one, but wow. Alright, we have the 5 of Wands in reverse. So, you've kind of been in a state of argument, conflict, this sort of thing. Disagreement. Very much, not enjoying that. But that's coming to an end. Whatever you're arguing about, if you haven't already, it's gonna come to an end for you. It is on your mind, though. It's probably the thing that you're thinking about the most. It's really just bogging you down. Harshing your vibe, if you will. And you will. Up, up, we got the Hierophant. So this could be some sort of spiritual conflict, like in the church, if that's something you prescribe to. It could be the thought of marriage, or some sort of long-term contract that you're dealing with. And it's giving you a little bit of stress. Maybe someone is asking something of you. And you're not really feeling it. But you don't know how to say that. Okay, we got the 6 of Swords in reverse. We got the 3 of Swords. And we got Judgment. Okay. So I was saying something about marriage, or commitment of some kind. And you're really heavily considering what that means for your future. You really need to know what that means for you. And I was saying something about spirituality, yeah. Like, see, this kind of reminds me of the rapture in the Bible. Like, there's the body, and then the souls are, like, ascending to heaven. You kind of think what, like long term, what is this going to mean for me forever, for the rest of my life? Like, how is this going to change my life? And, the conflict that you're considering, that you're thinking about, that's heavy on your mind, is going to change something. So usually this is about more calmer waters, but being reversed with a Three of Swords on top of it, the conflict has really hurt you in a way that you can't really come back from. You know, it's probably what sparked this sort of introspection for you, is the vibes. You can't turn the other cheek. You can't just pretend like nothing happened. You can't just say that, it's cool, it didn't hurt that bad, I'm used to it, wipe yourself off after falling down. It's not that. It is something that changed fundamentally how you feel. Not just about, like, the person or the thing that is causing it, but yourself. Like, it's caused you to consider really your mortality and your life and the rest of it. I'm getting like it could be a near-death situation that has happened. Somebody close to you might have died or nearly died, and you're kind of like, whoa, this is real life now. Yeah, it's just closer to you. Maybe it pushed you into the church, or you're considering going to church, or, your soul, things like this. Leo moons, please. Ancestors, spirit guides, angels. We have the moon in reverse. I'm getting that you feel like you can't be like you were before from this conflict. Like, it stole your innocence in a way. Like, how could you go back to just believing everything will be alright when you see that things clearly are not alright? Because this is like, she's like really dreamy, looking up at the night sky, like making a wish. But she's reversed. Sorry, I dropped some. Kind of in a way that's like, What is worth wishing for in this kind of situation? What do I have to look forward to? A little bit cloudy, like foggy, not really, kind of lost feeling. Because you're hurting, you're like in the depths of despair over this conflict. Alright, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, as well as the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So, the Ace of Pentacles is saying you're passing up on an opportunity, or maybe several opportunities, and you're in a state of not happiness, depression, like I was saying with the moon. This mortal life, because this is the Pentacles, it's usually like abundance. It's not serving you the way you thought it was. Like you feel very lost, and suddenly like this isn't enough. Like you need more, and it might be pushing you towards faith, like I was saying. But see, the hands on the pentacle are on both sides, so you're giving up something and you're gaining something else. So when people join faith or spirituality or anything like that, they usually say, I'm giving up my old life and getting a new life. Or like in Christianity, when I was growing up, they were saying, like, you give up your mortal life to serve Jesus, and then you get an eternal life, like an eternal body, in heaven with the Lord forever. And that might be something that you're considering. No shame in that. We all need some spiritual fulfillment, and we all fulfill that in different ways. Alright, anything else, Spirit? Anything else for the Leo moons? Oh, we got the Seven of Swords. Something very deceitful. Something very vile and not in your best interests. So we have the King of Wands in reverse. So yeah, you kind of lost your patience for this, for everything. I was saying about, like, giving up something to get something else. And, like, some of the swords are on the ground, and it looks like he's gonna drop that one, and then he's got the ones, like, in his coat. To transition out of your life, I feel like you'll probably have to lie. But it feels like you're lying already. Like you're lying about being alright, being okay, feeling top tier captain. And you're just at the end of that. You don't want to do that anymore. You kind of want to drop it. Drop the charade. Which is understandable completely. Anything else, Spirit? Oh. Drop on the ground. And then we got the Artist, which is special to this deck. It's another heavenly angel sort of message. Like the tree of life back there in the clouds in heaven, and you're creating a life for yourself. You're like considering on this new journey here that because of the things you've experienced, you want to transition out of your life. And your life might have been one of like a lot of perceived sin or like negativity, being bad, doing crimes, things like this. And you're like, but I don't want that anymore. And the path you're choosing is spirituality or religion, you know, like this sort of thing. You're creating a life that is more how you envisioned, more like having treasures at the end of it instead of only putting bad karma out there. And I applaud you for that. That's a hard shift to make, but you're really focused on that, and it's gonna give you a good way. You're gonna make it. I'm hearing the Künstler, I think, in German is like the artist. You're an artist. Künstler, Künstlerin. Yeah, so that's the general reading. I'll be right back with your financial stuff. Hello again, my Leo moons. To the financial portion of thine reading. We're gonna see what's up with your money situation. Now that we know your soul is getting stacked, what is happening on the 3D with the money situation? What is changing for the Leo moons at the time they are finding this video? Please, thank you, spirits. And I know a lot of Christians, like, not to get back on that, but they think that they can't experiment with other religions or like it's like cheating or something like that. My sister was very worried about that, like getting crystals and stuff, because she's like a really devout Christian. She's like, but what if it, you know, invites the devil into my life and things like this? Your intention is everything in your life, and I just wanted to tell you that. Alright, financial situation for Leo moons, please. Alright, we have the Chariot. It is moving forward. It is going strongly in the forward direction. And it might have something to do with emotions as well. Your job could be a therapist of some kind. Chariot is ruled by Cancer, which is a very emotional sign. It's a water sign. Yep. You know how they are. It is the opposite of fire, admittedly, which is the Leo, but it could be why there's black and white cats here. Sphinx eye, or Sphinx, Das Sphinx. Alright, we got the Two of Pentacles. You're probably at some sort of crossroads that you have to make a decision on. But, like, it's also giving me the giving up to get something else. Like equivalent exchange. Because the infinity sign is down here. That's you. You're on your path. You're doing the right thing. And then your coins are up in the air, and you're just putting one down. You're like, yes, I have this coin. I don't need this anymore. So you seem to be transitioning in your life to a different path. Okay. The Knight of Swords. And this is giving me very much the, if you're familiar with church talk, and like this is very like, I don't usually prescribe God to these cards, and I usually don't prescribe God to my readings. I'm not anti-Christian. It's just Christianity has impacted my life in such a way that it's just not a big part of me anymore. But this is giving me like the expression, put on the full armor of God, which is like you know, if you're in the faith, you can't be harmed because God is protecting you in that sort of situation. And yeah, white animals as well, usually when I see that, my brain thinks that like spirit is guiding you, you're getting you led in the right direction. And the Knight of Swords is very quick. He's a quick guy. So you're making this choice and you're sticking to it. And the Chariot is also fast. So it might be your job might have to do with your new faith, or something like this. Or you might be considering that. Some sort of communicative, like, person job. Personable job. Pardon. Alright, we have the Star in reverse. And we have the Devil. I knew he was going to show up. Alright, cool. So, with most people who head in a spiritual direction, the Devil does show up to tempt you away from the path that you're choosing. It has always been that way. A sort of, he's the principality of the air, right? So he's basically a test of your willpower to stay on this path you've chosen, yeah? And the Star is the wish that you're making, or a wish you've held, something you have made in the past. Like, this is like a goal you've had, and you're gonna have to give that up, even though you probably worked really hard towards it, and you're probably really far. This new spiritual path that you're on is not lining up with the financial decisions you've made in the past, because you're no longer only there for like greed and money. And the Devil's like, that path you chose, it's actually really good, and there's a lot of money to be made there, and you might have to do a few things that aren't over the table, like it's a little bit under the table, but you know, you'll make money in the end. You will. And he's just whispering all these things in your ear, and it's just like, you'll have all the money, the bitches, the power, you'll have everything you want to have except God. Because to do this job and to have all the things that you wanted, remember you wanted these things, you're gonna have to give that idea up, because it doesn't line up with the things that you're doing. And so it's really a test of willpower for you, financially, because you might have to live a little bit more humbly than you're used to, or something like that. But if you're choosing to follow the Lord, or whatever path you're choosing to follow, you'll have to steer clear of all the things that don't align with that belief system. And that might be hard for you, because that might be the way that you're living right now. You're used to living in sin, or as a Gentile. I'm trying to think of like all the words. But let's see. Financial situation. Leo moons, please. It doesn't have to be a Christian sense of the devil. It's like, this could be any sort of religion or spiritual practice, and you're just being steered away from it. But it's a challenge that you're gonna have to overcome to stay on the path of shaman or Buddhist and things like this. Financial stuff for the Leo moon, please. We got strength in reverse. It's going to be tested, your willpower. And you might even slip a little bit. You might feel like you're not good enough for the path you've chosen. And you might think that like losing money and all of this wasn't worth it, because like you're not good enough anyway, because you couldn't even last through the beginning phases. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, so I was saying about being poor, it's not worth it. You're really questioning whether or not this is what you really want, because this devil is really working on you. And sorry, something in my... You're feeling it. And it might even affect your family, because they have like a little baby. Your life choices might affect someone else in a way that is hurting you a lot. We also have the King of Swords. He's the king of boundaries. He's the king of communication. He's the king of no bullshit, right? And he's stalwart. He's standing, he knows what he wants. And he's like, whatever I have to do to get it, I'll do it. Because I am steadfast in the word. Because the swords are about communication and words and things like this. So you're at the baby stages. And you're, having doubts. Because the financial situation is putting strain on you. Will Leo moons come out of this? How will they come out of it? What's the future of the financial situation? We got the present. What's the future gonna happen for the Leos and their newfound life path? Will the Leo moons come out of this situation Soon? How long, Spirit? So we have the Eight of Swords. And the Emperor. And this is when I asked how long. So that could be 8 days, 8 weeks. I'm not feeling super long. I'm not feeling like more than that. And the Emperor is about control and majesty. So more about like divine timing, things like that. But you're like taken care of because you have the King of Swords, but the Emperor is above all kings. He is the King of Kings, if you will. Alright, we also have the Nine of Wands. And the Knight of Cups. So the Nine of Wands is like you're fighting this. You're fighting this devil situation. You're very defensive and you're really just trying to hold on because you know in your heart that this path is for you and that is what you want to do with your life. And the Knight of Cups, when I pulled it, I heard humble supplication. So what that means is like basically being on your knees and asking and humbly asking for help. So in a religious situation, usually that's like praying to God and just leaving it in his hands and that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be a struggle for a while, at least a couple of months maybe. But you're gonna hold on and you're gonna leave it to God. And he'll make sure you get through, even if just barely, like you'll get through. Alright, let's see. I will grab a oracle. We'll do this oracle. Botanical oracle. Alright, we have courage in reverse. It does take courage to follow a spiritual path, because everyone kind of like looks down on it later in life. Like if you're not already established in a religion, at least in my experience with Christianity and certain other like organized religions, they sort of like are very slow to trust like new people, especially like when they're older people. Like they'll embrace children, of course, because they're like all the children. But yeah, so you might feel a little discouraged, but what you're doing is brave, and you should hold on to that. And we also have connection. Connection to spirit. Connection to others who are in the similar spiritual situation. Connection to your support system. Probably even really important in this time, and like that could help you financially as well. Like they could, maybe you were like renting a room or like sleeping on someone's couch or something like that for a while. Excuse me. But yeah, this is it. That's all I have for the financial situation. If you're leaving me now, thank you so much for joining me. I will pray for you, and may the hunters never find you. Hello, Leo Moons, to the final love portion of your reading. It's been a very lovely reading so far. You're getting very spiritual. You're developing your faith. It is always nice to see. Especially when you come earnestly to a religion or a spiritual practice, and it's not just the people around you were doing it, so you decided to do it as well. That's why it's hard for me to, like, get super excited for children, because they don't really understand. They just know that everyone else is doing it, which is fine, but, you know. Alright. For the Leo Moons. What is their love life looking like? What kind of love are they entering? What kind of love is entering into their hearts? We have the Three of Wands. Which tells me that this isn't going to happen anytime soon. Whatever love that's coming towards you, you're kind of looking way into the future for that. You're looking for like a long-term committed partnership, and that's just not going to come right out of the gate, or like right now. Like, you're kind of going through some stuff. If you know, you understand, you're dealing with things. So love is kind of not on your radar at this moment in time, but it will come, just not right now. Alright, we got the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords in reverse. So you're worried about being hurt. You're worried about people lying to you, sneaking behind your back. You've probably been cheated on in the past, and you just don't have time for it. And the Eight of Swords is you're basically you're closing yourself off. You're not letting people in. You've had enough of that. You've got too much else to worry about. You're just like, you know, like, I'm like flattered, but no. You just don't want to worry about that whole situation. Like, you're like, yeah, I mean, if everyone had a pure intention, that would be great, but that's just not the case, living in the world we live in. So you'd rather focus on yourself and what you're going through right now than deal with it. You've also probably been in a lot of connections before. Leo Moons. Oop. Alright, we got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We got the Ace of Cups in reverse. And we got the Five of Cups in reverse. Okay, so you see that you have opportunities. Like, you're probably super good looking. Not super good looking, but like you are relatively confident in your looks department. And there are offers, and some of them are even genuine offers. But like I was saying, with you being in a lot of connections and worried about being hurt, like you're exhausted emotionally. You don't really want to deal with any of the complications that come with a relationship or being in love or adding more people to your circle at the moment. You're like, yes, this is great. Like, I can see the offer, but I just don't want to take it. And there's multiple of these. Through the next couple of months, you will either connect with people, or people who have connected with you in the past are going to offer you love and emotion, and you're not going to take it, and you're not going to want it. And you're going to leave it at the door, and it might hurt some people. It might hurt them, and you might lose some friends or something like that, but you've pretty much made the choice that you're pursuing your spiritual health and mental stability, and you just don't have the resources, mentally or physically, to really add anyone to this. Love life. Humans. Pretty please. It is 222 while I am shuffling right now. So, it's a good sign. Alright, we have the Chariot in reverse. Like I was saying, it is not going to be soon. You are staunchly single by choice. What kind of person is coming towards them? This person way off in the distance. What kind of person is this? Right? It's a Six of Pentacles. I love the balancing there, like where there's a girl and a guy on the ground. They're very on the same level. They're very balanced. They give and take in equal measure. So your partner's really going to help you out. You guys are going to help each other out. How are they going to make the Leo moon feel? Spirit? How is this relationship going to feel? And we got the Ace of Swords. And this gives me, like, very heavenly. Like, I don't mean, like, the actual spiritual. But it could be, because you're, you know, like, this is my counterpart. Right? I got that from the crown. But, like, your past is really going to bother you in your new connection in the future. It's, you're going to feel like you don't deserve it. You're going to hurt yourself, basically. This person's going to support you, but you're going to hurt yourself thinking you don't deserve it because of, you know, how you were. And it's really hard when you're entering a new faith to, like, let go of your self-deprecation and your pain and things like that. But you can do it. I love the Queen of Swords in reverse. It's going to feel like you don't deserve it. That, you know, this is too good. Somebody helping you. Somebody being everything you want them to be. Let yourself have it. I mean, you're going through the most right now. You deserve, you know, a little bit of something. We got the Eight of Cups in reverse. And you're gonna enter into this thinking accidentally, almost thinking that, you know, it's, you know, love isn't something I should be worrying myself, like I've got a lot of other things I can worry about. But then they're gonna just support you through a hard time. Like, genuinely, like, out of, like, actual feeling, they're gonna support you. Anything else? We got the King of Pentacles. You are gonna financially recover from this. You know the meme, like, I'm never gonna financially recover from this. But you are. And you're gonna have pretty much anything you want when it comes to love. Like, you are the stable king. And they are the Queen of Swords. Alright, and we got the Three of Swords in reverse, which is actually really beautiful. All that pain you were feeling, they're going to help you heal through it. This relationship is gonna be a healing force for you. You're just gonna have to wait for a little while to get there, but you'll heal, and it's gonna be very pretty rad. Anything else, Spirit? For the Leo Moons. Alright, we'll go through it one more time. Since I did drop that, let's see. We'll grab a dragon for you, and then you're good to go, sweetheart. It's a lot of spirituality and healing coming your way. Alright, we have Organize with a Peapod Dragon. Get your affairs in order. I don't mean that in a way that's like die, but like priorities, I suppose, is my thought. And we have Diversify with the Zucchini Dragon. Maybe the people you're around are kind of all the same people. And maybe this spirituality situation is showing you a better way, or like surrounding you with different kinds of people or religions or different, you know, ways of being. And that's nice. I'm happy for you. It might be a little bit of a struggle, but you're going to overcome it, and there's good things at the end of your rainbow. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and may the hunters never find you.